What's going on, everyone? My name is Eric and you're watching the Get Me Out of Here vlog. Today I'm in the vast wilderness of Arizona, just east of Phoenix, the valley, way over there in the distance. I'm in Tonto National Forest, about to take an incredible endeavor here. One that I'm a little bit nervous for, mainly excited for, but about to climb the highest peak of Maricopa County, the county that Phoenix is situated in. Behind me, over this ridge, is Four Peaks. Four Peaks is one of the most popular mountains in the state of Arizona. In fact, you can see it on the state license plate. It's that purple mountain on the Arizona state license plate. This is the highest peak of Maricopa County, 7,659 feet to the top. I've read and did a little research. This is supposed to be a challenging hike with a Scree Chute scramble towards the top. I think it's about an 1,800 foot elevation gain, about a 5-mile hike there and back again, so about 2.5 miles to the peak, 2.5 miles back to the parking lot. And I gotta tell you what, the drive up here was wild. I did make it in my Mazda 6, my sedan. Come on, baby. Come on, Mazda 6, you got this. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, well, I've got a sedan, Mazda 6, but I watched a video where a guy made this all the way to the parking lot in a Prius, so I've got hope. Well, we came upon this cross, which is not exactly what you like to see on a dirt mountain path, but I think it's like a fork in the road. I think this just goes around. I think we're supposed to go behind, back that way, up the mountain. Got beautiful views beyond these trees that we'll see at the top of the mountain of Roosevelt Lake. Just a beautiful, vast wilderness covered with wildlife, covered with black bears. I read that the densest population of black bears is here in Tonto National Forest. Pray that we don't run into any of those today, or rattlesnakes, but either way, come with me on this journey. My brother and I actually hiked to the top of Humphreys Peak 3 weeks ago, the highest point of the state of Arizona. And this got me excited to do the highest point of Maricopa County. I'm gonna do my best. I know it's a challenging hike. Got my camelback, got a good guide here, my friend Brendan, who is also an amazing mountain hiker himself. So he's kind of gonna be my Sherpa as we traverse to the top of Four Peaks. Now we're just going to be doing Browns Peak, which is the highest peak today. We won't be traversing to all four. That's a very, very challenging feat. We're just going to get to the top today and celebrate with a special beer on top as well. So follow me today as we venture into the vast wilderness of Arizona, a place that most people think of deserts, but yes, there are mountains. And we're going to be hiking to the top of Four Peaks, Browns Peak. Let's do this. Browns Trail, number 133. Heading on up. Now what I've read is the first half of this hike is relatively easy, just kind of going through pine forests, not too much steep elevation, but it's really the last portion of this hike, the Scree Chute is what I've heard it called. That is pretty much, give or take, 1,000-foot elevation gain in I want to say like a mile. So the end will be intense, to say the least. I must say, a very beautiful forest along I guess a kind of a boulder field. There's a lot of boulders scattered throughout, a lot of burnt timber and trees I've noticed. I think there was a really bad wildfire in recent years. That rock looks like a giant pecker. But anyway, we'll keep this PG. Yeah, I know a lot of people think of cactus and deserts when they think of Arizona. It's such a diverse state. This is a mountain range, literally just an hour's drive east of Phoenix. You have to watch out though, some of these branches have thorns. Okay, this giant boulder here, you can see people kind of carve their names into this. And I gotta say, I know nothing about the history of the Mazatlan Mountains. I believe that's how you pronounce that. That's the mountain range that Four Peaks is situated in. I don't know if this is ancient volcanic rock I don't know the history of the geology, so if you do, please leave a comment below. I didn't really research that before doing this hike today. I was kind of just focused on the trek itself and getting to the summit. So beautiful geography and geology. Have a funny looking boulder right there, kind of looks like a drumstick sticking out of the ground. Look at this view right here. Look at this. Now, I think that's Brown's Peak. That's the highest peak right there. These are not the other two peaks. They're behind these two mountains. All four of the four peaks are jagged edges. And if I remember, Brown's Peak, that's the highest. And then they get from highest elevation to lowest as you go from north to south. There's Brown's Peak. The second one is, I believe it's Brother Peak, Sister Peak, and Amethyst Peak. So, yeah, about a quarter of a mile into the hike and still going through the easy portion of it, the pine forest. By pines, I mean there's like 4 right there. Just absolutely majestic. The views, it's just, again, I just moved here to Arizona from Chicago, Illinois last summer. Moved to Phoenix. So the Wild West, the American West is just so amazing to me. So beautiful, so majestic. I had no idea that there were mountains in Arizona before I moved here. It's still breathtaking to me. I can't believe how many different mountain ranges there are. This is just one part of the state. Humphreys Peak, the highest point in the state of Arizona, over 12,000 feet, like 12,600 feet high. That is up by Flagstaff. So again, there's just the whole state of Arizona is covered with mountain ranges. I had no idea before I moved here. And as we're trekking up, again, these views, I can't wait to get to the top. I mean, this is just half mile in, not even to the saddle. And this peak, 4 peaks, Browns Peak in particular, such a prominent peak. You can see these clearly from Phoenix. In fact, in the wintertime, they get snow on top of 4 peaks. So you can actually see snow from the city of Phoenix in the wintertime when it's 70, 80 degrees in the city. You're looking at snow-capped peaks here at 4 peaks in the distance. So again, Arizona is just such an amazing state to live in for diversity, geology, diversity of geology, that's what I'm trying to say. All right, catching my breath. Look at this. Oh, the shade feels great. Hey, deer. Hello, deer. Hello. It's not even afraid. All right, see you, deer. Bye. Have fun on your hike. Deer. They got deer. More beautiful views, but I wanted to point out this little boulder field here is really pretty. Kind of reminds me of the Princess Bride movie, 80s movie. It's seen with Andre the Giant. Anyway, does anybody want a peanut? Still working towards the saddle. Just wanted to point out, yeah, just a very wooded area right here, this portion of the trail. And we are like a mile and a half into this hike, which means we only have like a mile left to get to the top. So we gotta be very close to the saddle, I would think. So just an incredibly clear view of Browns Peak right there. And that little groove is the infamous Scree Chute. Pretty much a vertical climb that we're going to be attempting. And I believe, now that I have a better look at this, I believe that's the saddle right there. It's kind of like the calm before the storm. And we just hit the 2-mile marker right here. Emerged from the woods. Beautiful view of Roosevelt Lake. down there. So I don't know, I thought it was 2.5 miles to the peak, according to All Trails. From the parking lot to the peak, we hit 2 miles here. This looks like it's at least another mile to the peak. So anyway, I'm gonna keep up towards the saddle, take a quick break, get some energy, and then we will attempt the Scree Chute. So I think we've made it to the saddle. You can tell that people have camped here. This is a campground, which is pretty amazing. And ahead of us is the challenging part of this hike. You can see it's pretty much all the elevation is saved at the end. There is the notorious Scree Chute right there that we are going to be attempting. So we're taking a quick breather right here, drinking some water, taking some of these brick electrolyte gummies, which I highly recommend, and heading on up here in a second. So it's going to be right here, the calm before the storm. This is going to be a pretty tough workout, I'm expecting, but again, we're going to pace ourselves, see how this goes. From what I've read online, I think this is mainly class 3 rock climbing when you get into the actual Scree, maybe some class 4 every once in a while, but this will probably be the most intense climb that I have done to date, as far as actually climbing with my hands and feet. So yeah, I'm a little nervous, but I'm also very, very excited to take this on. And like I said, if we get into a position where we feel like we're putting ourselves into danger or risk, we're gonna assess it, we're gonna take our time, and we will come back the way we came. Because it's not worth risking your life for pride to get to the top, but we are close. Final push. So right now I'm feeling excited. I feel good. You ready for this, Brendan?
Yeah.
Cool. And we're off towards the Scree Chute, the highest point of Maricopa County. I know I'm saying that a lot, but this is a hike I've been wanting to do ever since I moved here. Getting closer to the actual chute itself. I wanted to point out, I don't know what this is off in the distance. It almost looks like wildfires. Thought at first maybe it was rain. That doesn't look like rain though. That might actually be a fire way off on the horizon. Pretty crazy. All right, gonna keep going. A lot of bees down here on the saddle. A lot of bees on the flowers, so just be aware. Honeybees. That looks like a baby horned lizard. That's cool. Oh, there he goes. All right, we're gonna go to the top. See you, buddy. Another quick update. Continuing towards the chute. Definitely a more vertical climb here. Look at this. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is awesome. Oh, this is fantastic. So this reminds me of Camelback. Whew. So a lot of kind of solid bouldering so far. A little bit of loose scree, but nothing like Humphrey's Peak when I went off the trail. Yeah, getting there towards the Scree Chute. Look at this. Wow, amazing. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that view. Incredible. I don't know if this is the trail anymore. I think it might be. Anyway, we're taking a quick breather, taking our time, and the trail is not quite as easy to follow up here as I thought it would be. But yeah, we'll just keep kind of trial and erroring it. I think this looks like it might be the trail. All right, I'm using my head cam. This is the first time I've ever used this with my GoPro, so I hope the footage looks all right. But we're almost to the beginning of the Scree Chute. You can tell it's a lot more rock scramble here. This is just a preview for what's to come. But yeah, so far pretty good. It's a lot of fun, actually. Look at this rock scramble. Oh, this is freaking cool. All right. All right. Make sure the hold points are there. Holy crikey. What the heck? So I think I recognize this from other people's videos, but this is a little sketchy. Not gonna lie. Holy crap. Ooh. All right. Oh. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna go down like this. Oh my God. This is wild. Definitely say I've never done anything like this before. All right. Okay. All right. This is wild. We made it. Oh, wow. It's definitely a rock scramble, dude.
Got some echo now.
A lot of solid rock, though, it seems. So, again, take your time with your hold point. Not too much exposure. And you'll make it through that. Hands down, so far has been the most challenging bouldering and rock climbing I've done to date. As far as rock grips. That's a nice little thing. Oh yeah, there is an echo. Echo! Very nice. You got this, Brendan. You're making that look way easier than me. Very good. All right, I'm gonna get out of the way. So, cool. We're gonna keep holding onto these ledges. Working our way up the face. And there it is, ahead of me. That is the infamous Scree Chute. Right there. So here we go. We are getting into it now. Just trying to figure out where to go.
Ooh, Scree.
Yeah, well, that's why they call it the Scree Chute. I hate Scree. So this is what we're dealing with. It's really not as intimidating up close as I thought as it would be. So far, that's how far we've come. Still a ways to the top, but I think it's gonna get a little steeper as we get towards the peak. But so far, very manageable. Really not too bad. Selfie shot here in the Scree Chute, the most difficult part of the climb of 4 peaks, Browns Peak. Good so far. Okay, just taking another breather. Brendan needs a break. It's not me, I could keep pushing, but anyway. Look at that chute. Look at that though. That's how far we've come. Got still a ways to go. I'll turn this around. A little bit further to go. I think this might be the toughest spot right here, but not terrible. We'll make it work. We're gonna be sipping beers at the top here shortly. Well, here's the fun part. Let's see. I think we just got to go up this canyon here. This little alcove. Oh shit, can I fit with my backpack? Shit. Let's see. This is gonna suck my backpack. Hold on. Let's see. I'm trying to look for a good handhold. Maybe here? I just need to get up to this spot. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, got dust in my mouth. Is that solid? Feels like it. Okay, thank God. All right. Hold on. Let's see. This part's very difficult.
Good.
Just trying to figure out how to get up from here. Maybe this is interesting. I don't know if I can kick off this. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, man. Up, rocks. Good?
Good.
Okay. That is by far the most challenging part so far. So I'll be here to help. Yeah, that was this little ledge here. It's by far the most challenging part of the hike. That would probably, and that's probably the part I've seen that people say maybe class 4 right there. But again, it's just grabbing, taking your time, grabbing those hand points and then committing. So, all right, get in there. That'll be fun. That's gonna be fun going down.
Wow.
Unless we decide to try a different way down and traverse.
Is there another way down?
There might be. Okay. Boy, this definitely is a rock climber's haven here, though. I will say that. Okay, now the rocks are starting to get a little more plant life on it, so I got to start really watching for cactus. But holds are nice so far. A lot of solid rock. Oh, here's another fun spot. Holy shit. Interesting, okay. Boy. Damn. What's that? Is this the best way to go?
What?
Oh, is this the best way to go? It's like no foot. I don't know, there's like no foothold. Really? Unless you just shimmy. Is that what people do here?
Little beta.
Oh shit, I don't know what to do.
You good?
Just not a good push-off spot. Boy. Boy, that's wild too. Okay. I don't know how some of these older guys do this. It always amazes me. All right. Whew. Yeah, just take your time. I was almost like, you almost have to put your weight to your right on that rock and then. There you go. Very good.
This will suck on the way down. I definitely don't like going down as much as I like going up.
Same.
And going up,
but
this is so much challenging.
This is how people do it. Most people go down the same way through the Scree Chute. Now, we get to the top, there's better reception. We might be able to find another path because you could traverse to the second one, maybe take an alternate route down. We can figure that out later.
I doubt it.
But we'll see. Right now, I'll worry about that when we're coming down. I want to get to the top. Okay. There we go. Okay, well.
Be super careful of your holds. Just
Yeah.
you really gotta stop and take a rest every once in a while.
Yep.
You're tired, you make mistakes.
Yep. I'm with you. So I'm kind of like, the secret is just pace yourself, stay calm,
Breathe.
trust the mountain, commit yourself to the holds when you find one.
Always test your hand before you commit to something.
And just watch out for pokey things. Cactus. Okay. All right, well, I think we're getting towards the top, maybe, unless it's a false summit. Which
I bet you there is a false summit.
probably is. Always seems to be. What a hike so far, though, I will say that. Not sponsored by La Sportiva shoes, but that's what I use for hikes. And they are comfortable and amazing. Very well gripped, lightweight, versatile. Love these shoes. You good down there?
I might need a break.
Okay, let me know. I'll wait. I want to see what's above this little peak.
Go for it.
Okay. And I could tell you if it's a false summit or not. Okay, here's cactus. Perfect example. I was almost going to grab that. So you don't want to grab a handful of spines. Okay. I think this is a false summit because I think I remember this in the videos I've seen too. Okay. Look at this view. Holy cow. You can see all 4 peaks right in front of me. Look at this. Just taking in the views of the other 3 peaks. About ready to continue to browse. Is that a bird? All right, well, I think we're past the official Scree Chute. Good job, man.
We're not done.
I know we're not done, but we made it past the Scree Chute. Something to be proud of. So you can see a beautiful view of the other peaks. And I think we just keep following this, I'm guessing. I don't know if that's the right way or not, but the trail gets a little confusing here at the top of the Scree Chute. Oh yeah, watch out for cactus. You think does that look right?
Yeah. Looks right enough.
I don't know if this is the right way or not, but I guess we'll do it. All right. Touche. So I guess we're just gonna kind of climb up the side here. Watch out for the freaking cactus. Chilling right there too. Maybe this is right, I don't know. So I don't know if we're actually following the official trail anymore. It kind of gets confusing at the top of the Scree Chute, but it seems to be good enough. So again, watch out for hiding cactus. Well, no celebration yet. There's one little peak further to the real deal. Brendan's up there. How you feel up there?
Feels good.
Feels good. Final couple steps to the top of Brown's Peak. And there are lots of ladybugs up here. Lots of ladybugs. Oh, this is great. Took the head cam off, the helmet cam off for this last victory step. Something I've been wanting to summit ever since I moved to Phoenix. There it is. The high point of Maricopa County. Look at this. Oh, there's a lot of room on the top. I wasn't expecting that. Look at that, and there's a jar right here too. I don't know if this is like a register registrar or register, maybe sign your name there.
In there too.
Do that in a bit, but get off of me, beetle. Look at this view. Spectacular. And actually, you can see, okay, I was wrong earlier. That is all 3 peaks. That's the second peak, either brother or sister. I can't remember which one. The other one is the other brother or sister. So I'm just gonna guess. Brother peak, sister peak, and over there, amethyst peak. So you can see all 3 of the other peaks right there. And here we are on the high point, the top of Browns Peak. Well, we made it to the top of Browns Peak. Again, this is spectacular, amazing views, beautiful day. It's like 80 degrees out up here. There's some ladybugs swarming around, but not terrible. Haven't been bitten yet. Pretty clear out, but I will say there's a lot of like smog or smoke kind of in the air. It's kind of hard to even see Phoenix, but to kind of put this in perspective, this rock is not comfortable. I think this is the actual high point. There's no seal marking that anywhere on top of the mountain that I can see. So if there was a seal at one point, it's not here anymore. Somebody must have taken it. But again, just beautiful views of the other 3 peaks, standing on 4 peaks. There is a traverse that you can take. You can traverse all 4 of these peaks, and it's a traverse called the Mother Lode, doing all 4 of these peaks in one day. We are not doing that today. I'm happy just summiting Browns for my first time being out here on 4 peaks. From what I've heard, there is some class 5 action involved with traversing these other 3. And I've read online it takes anywhere from 12 to 16 hours to do. So just do not have time for that, even if I wanted to try to attempt it today. But not going to do that. Happy with being here on top of one of the most spectacular mountains in the state of Arizona, in the Wild West. I think, so these are the other 3 peaks. I think beyond that, way off in the distance, that shadowy figure you see is Mount Lemmon down by Tucson. That's another one of the highest mountains in the state of Arizona. Phoenix should be over there on the other side of Superstition Mountain, straight ahead. You can kind of make out some of Phoenix, but it's very, very foggy, smoggy. I don't know what is going on in the air today. I will say it seems behind me that there could be a wildfire happening way out there. Seems to be a lot of smoke rising up in the distance, but just again, spectacular views up here. I will say 4 peaks, again, it's so prominent from the Phoenix metro area that I'm actually surprised we can't even see Phoenix from here. Success, summited Browns Peak, which I think calls for a little bit of a celebration. So what do you say? We crack a beer, Brendan? Yep. All right, we're gonna crack a couple beers and take in the scenery from above on the high point. Okay, so going with a 4 Peaks beer, of course. That is a popular brewery in the city of Phoenix. So only fitting to be breaking out 4 peaks on the top of 4 peaks. Why not? So hopefully this doesn't blow up like they usually do when I'm at higher altitude. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh. They always say the best beer is a mountain beer. Cheers, Brendan. Successful summit of Browns Peak. Oh, that tastes great. That tastes wonderful. Went with the wow. You can find this at pretty much every bar in Phoenix. It's a very common one. It's probably one of my favorite ones by 4 Peaks, and I just thought the view up here was stunning. So, wow, what a view, 4 Peaks. Just another close of these fires. Look at that. Those are definitely wildfires off in the distance to the west, or no, to the east. Yeah, to the east of 4 Peaks and Roosevelt Lake. The other thing I was looking for, now that I got my cell phone out, was I wanted to try to see Humphreys Peak, the highest mountain in the state of Arizona, and it might be that shadow right there. That lone shadow might be Humphreys Peak. It's hard to tell, but that would be north. And unless it's hiding behind the ridge here, but if people say they can see it on a clear day, it wouldn't be hiding behind the ridge. So I think that might be it. I think that is Humphreys Peak. It's a lone standing volcano, so that would make sense. There's no other mountains around there. So I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say that is Humphreys Peak. I just wanted to point out as well that this, of all the mountains that I've climbed this year, this is the calmest day on a summit I have had so far. When I did Wasson Peak at Saguaro National Park, when I did Humphreys Peak in Flagstaff, when I did Wheeler Peak in New Mexico, every single one of those peaks was windy, incredibly windy at the top. Today, a beautiful, calm day. Finally, my first summit where I can just relax and take it in and not feel like I'm in a rush because of the wind. So I wanted to point that out. What a beautiful day today at Four Peaks, one of the most iconic mountains in the state of Arizona. Cool to see a mountain goat. Never seen one of those in the wild. So on top of the summit, I noticed this. If this is real, this is incredible. It says J.R. Acre, or Acre? I don't know how to pronounce that, but anyway. Templeton, 4th Cavalry, 1867. If that is real, that's incredible. Somebody carved their name on this rock in 1867, shortly after the American Civil War, when this was just a vast wilderness. There was no Phoenix. There was no Las Vegas. There was no Roosevelt Lake. This was all man-made. This is damned. Nothing except for a vast wilderness, the Wild West. And you can see other names carved in as well. This just says Rocks, or maybe it says Roy. I don't know. Let's see what's inside this jar. Is there a candy bar in there? Oh, dude. Oh, it's egg whites. It's a protein bar.
Those are good.
Is this still good?
Here, I'll trade for that. Maybe.
No way. Are you gonna eat this?
Maybe.
Are you gonna eat this?
I can trade it for a Cliff Bar.
Hey, that's my Cliff Bar, by the way. Do it, Brendan. Eat it. Eat it for the camera. It probably expired like 3 years ago, but you know what?
It's a little warm.
Yeah, it's a little warm, a little melty. Oh, that's disgusting. He's doing it. Oh my God. You ate the whole freaking thing like a champ. Good job. You're going to be like running down the Scree Chute after this.
Uh-oh. Contains eggs and peanuts.
Yeah, it's got warm eggs. Brendan, there's a reason they call this Brown's Peak, but I don't want to find out why. So I found this in here as well, and it looks like we need to get a new notebook for the top of Brown's Peak. It just says here, 9/14, that's 2 days ago. Terry Brennan, Tonto Rim, SAR, blah, blah, blah. New cachet jar needs a new notebook. Lovely day, no wind, peace to all, and some dates. So we're going to sign this sheet of paper, but if you're watching this video and you want to hike Brown's Peak, bring a new notebook. I'm going to shout that out here. Let's bring a new notebook, a new registrar, if you will, for future climbers. I should have brought one. I forgot. Anyway, shout out right now. If you bring a notebook, take a picture and leave a comment on my video. Give me that other one. We gotta trade. Gotta trade one bar for another. There we go. Put that in there.
Oh, toilet paper. Someone left some toilet paper in
Well, that's
here.
wonderful, because when you need that after you've eaten that protein bar, you're gonna be good to go. All right, I'm signing the register. Well, we are about to head back down and depart from the summit. So long, Browns Peak summit. We'll kind of see some of the other four peaks for a while, but anyway, I think going down is going to be a lot harder than going up. The descent, especially in that Scree Chute, will be challenging. That's what I'm guessing. Real quick, overall, this hike, not so bad, really not so bad. The Scree Chute, I would say, definitely has maybe 3 locations that I thought were a little bit risky. It kind of pushed me a little bit to the edge. Well, I wouldn't say to the edge, but pushed me a little bit as far as my physical capabilities are concerned with mountain climbing. You want to take your time, trust your holds, watch out for cactus, make sure that rock is secure before you commit to it. And then when you do have your holds, you need to fully commit and really pull yourself up. I think you'll be okay. Overall, this is not a terrible hike. It's very doable. Now, I would not recommend doing this if you have not done some other mountains, such as maybe Camelback would be a good one to start, Paestua Peak in Phoenix. I would even challenge you to do Humphreys Peak up in Flagstaff before you do 4 peaks. So just keep that in mind. I would not start this hike as a novice, or at least if you wanted to, I would recommend you could hike up to where the Scree Chute starts, and then I would probably recommend to turn around from there, unless you're very comfortable with some high altitude. Well, I wouldn't say altitude, unless you're comfortable with some high elevations, a little bit of exposure, and really some class 3 rock climbing, which is going to require hand and foot grips and pulling yourself up in some places. So overall, not too bad. There were 3 spots that I can think of that were definitely a little bit risky, a little bit up there for me as far as hikes are concerned, but overall a very doable hike, a very enjoyable hike. The Scree Chute was not intimidating at all once you get into it. It was a lot of fun. It's almost like a puzzle trying to figure out what grips to use, what hand and foot holds to go for. So really, if you look at it like that as kind of a puzzle and kind of just a fun game and a way to explore, the chute is so much fun. I love it, but going down is definitely gonna be a little bit trickier than going up. So with that being said, we are starting our descent down Browns Peak. One last look. So long. Okay, well, I got past the 2 really difficult spots that, I'm not gonna lie, it's like a puzzle. I was scratching my head, but was able to find the holds I needed, made it down. So, still working my way down the Scree Rock Scramble, but those 2 spots that I thought would be hard, and are behind me now. So yeah, kind of getting to the spot where it levels off a bit. The steeper spot is behind me, and climbing down is absolutely harder than climbing up. That is for sure. That is 100%, but you can see pretty much I get past this little spot here, pretty much home free. The 2 difficult spots, one right there that I'm pointing at, and one up above beyond that, are behind me. So I'm gonna just keep focusing, and I will talk to you when I get to the bottom. Just to give you guys another view, progress made, getting towards the bottom of the chute. Brendan's already there because I was wasting time on top taking pictures. So, getting there, but like I said, just because I think I'm in the home stretch doesn't mean I can be reckless. I want to make sure I've still got my holds, taking my time, no race to get to the bottom, and double check. Some of these rocks look stable. They're not. Oh my God. Did it. Scree Chute right here is behind me. I did it. All right, well, now that we're done with the chute, just this one last spot that's a little bit nerve-wracking. This is the 3rd spot I was talking about. Probably drop down, right? Do this. There's kind of a nice ledge, I guess. Can I hold on to this? Oh, yes, I can. Okay. All right, well, make it across and into this little echo chamber. There you go. There you have it. That wasn't This is actually harder, again, harder going down than climbing up. Climbing up is easy compared to going down, I think. All right, cool. That is most of the hard stuff behind us. Super cool, look at this view. Perfect view of the Scree Chute and of the Tonto National Forest. Geez, that'd be cool to climb up onto as well, but the sun is starting to set. We started the hike at about 1:30. It's 5:15 right now. And so we want to try to get back before the sun sets, 7 p.m. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. There you have it. Voila. Done with the hard stuff. It's all pretty much class 1 from here on out. So we're going to continue our descent to the saddle, and should be pretty smooth sailing from there to the parking lot. And if I see some snakes or some exotic animals, then you'll see it here in a bit. Oh, we made it back. There's the empty information sign. Made it back to the parking lot. There's my amazing Mazda 6 that was able to drive the back roads all the way here, because most people warned me online that you needed an ATV or a pickup truck or a Jeep or something, an SUV off the road. Well, I saw a YouTube video where a guy did this in a Prius, and so that gave me hope. So if you're watching this guy with a Prius, you gave me hope. This was the thing I was worried about the most in this entire hike, was just getting to this parking lot. So anyway, amazing hike, 4 peaks, Browns Peak, finally conquered it. Something that has been on my bucket list since I moved to Phoenix and saw these 4 peaks off in the distance in the sunrise in the mornings driving to work. And now I can drive and look at them and know that I did it, know that I conquered this. I can point at it and be like, I conquered you, peak. So very excited to finally do this. I will say it is definitely a difficult hike in some parts of the Scree Chute, but don't be too intimidated. It looks a lot more intimidating than it is when you actually get into the chute. It wasn't as bad. In fact, I thought it was a lot of fun, just kind of focusing on handholds and grips and kind of taking your time. Is, to me, kind of put me in a meditative state, as weird as it sounds. So really, really recommend coming out here. I will say though, this is not for beginners. There are some tricky spots in the Scree Chute. If you're not comfortable with elevation, I would advise you to do other hikes like Camelback Mountain in Phoenix or Piestewa Peak. Get used to some of that elevation and some of that exposure first before you try to tackle this. But for a lot of you intermediate hikers watching this, don't get freaked out by what people say online. Just take your time. And also, if you do get there and you feel like you can't commit, don't push yourself. Stop, turn around. I don't want anybody to push themselves in uncomfortable situations when you're hiking a large mountain like this in a remote wilderness area. So just be safe, everyone. Again, an amazing hike. The sun is setting, and I have at least an hour drive on a very sketchy dirt road in my sedan ahead of me. So I need to close this out. I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name is Eric with the Get Me Out of Here vlog. It is time for me to get out of here. Thank you.